This is pretty fresh news, so you might have missed it, especially if you're not into Turtle WoW. Last Friday, August 29, Blizzard officially sued Turtle WoW for copyright infringement. Not sure who saw that coming, but I personally did. And this matters even if you have never played on a private server before. I'll explain why in a second, but first, a bit of context. I'm actually new to Turtle myself. I only started playing 2 weeks ago, planning to post a video about it around this time. Funny thing is, the video was going to be pretty critical. Turtle WoW has some major issues that almost nobody talks about on YouTube. Sure, it's good, I enjoy it and I actually recommend it, but it's a bit overrated and a lot of creators ignore flaws that clash with what made vanilla World of Warcraft great in the first place. I'm saying this upfront because I want to prove I'm not a fanboy for Turtle. I don't treat Turtle WoW like the second coming of Jesus, even though I like it. There are serious issues and I might make a video about them someday, but right now that could be risky with potential DMCA claims that could hurt such a small channel like mine. Even talking about it here might be a bit risky, but I want to get something off my chest and address a frustrating trend in the classic World of Warcraft community. The Blizzard neckbeards acting like this lawsuit is something to celebrate for some reason. Let's start with the company first. The soulless, greed-infested juggernaut that is Blizzard. Why now? What triggered this lawsuit? On the surface, it looks like the Unreal Engine port announcement, but let's be real, recent hype and traction online surely didn't help Turtle WoW in this regard. Legally, Blizzard has every right. This is their intellectual property, other people took it, used it and made money out of it. End of story. Turtle WoW has been around for over 7 years at this point, monetizing in small ways all along. But this isn't about finally hitting some financial threshold. The reason is crystal clear. Same reason Blizzard went after Nostalrius before Classic launched. Nostalrius was the biggest server doing exactly what Blizzard was planning to do themselves. After years of ignoring players, Blizzard finally got nudged into action thanks to a massive fan petition led by Mark Kern. Classic WoW finally became a thing because thousands of fans forced their hand. Fast forward to now, Blizzard sees that Classic Plus needs to happen after dumping huge time and resources into Season of Discovery, their attempt at a Classic Plus that, let's just say, failed. At first, they hyped it as the next big thing, something huge, but as soon as it started crashing and burning, suddenly they were like, oh, we're just testing guys, don't worry, this is just a test, something great is coming after it. It's just a prank, bro. And even if that is true, my god, they need to fire some people, because what person that is not insane and has any knowledge of vanilla would ever imagine Nightmare Incursions being worth testing in a vanilla environment? Anyway, today Turtle WoW is the biggest private server doing what Blizzard plans for the future. The situation is repeating itself. Letting it run unchecked would be risky for business. Imagine if Nostalrius had still been alive when Classic launched. A chunk of players wouldn't have switched at all, and if Blizzard would have made a mistake, fans could have bounced right back to a private server that was free and actually managed the problems Blizzard ignored. That is not ideal. But Turtle goes beyond what Nostalrius did. Nostalrius was basically vanilla with minor tweaks. Turtle adds new zones, raids, items, countless little details, showing the developers genuinely get and love the game. That puts Blizzard in a tough spot for 2 reasons. First is of course comparison with Season of Discovery. Turtle makes SOD look bad, really bad. Season of Discovery was packed with ideas that didn't work and screamed, we don't get vanilla. It's just a test, doesn't cut it at that point. Second, Turtle has years of development advantage. 7 years of content, polish and tweaks. Even if Classic Plus is good, it's up against an established server with a massive head start. If Blizzard fails at launch, Turtle will make them look very bad. And Blizzard really can't risk another bad image moment for Classic. Season of Discovery died off and is forgotten, and if Classic Plus fails again, the next thing for Classic after that would start with a seriously tarnished reputation. So to be clear, Blizzard suing Turtle WoW has nothing to do with them making money off the server. They've been doing that for years, and tons of other private servers do as well. Blizzard only cares when someone starts threatening their capacity of making money. And when that happens, well, we have seen it before. The Nostalrius developers were harassed at their homes in the middle of the night. But Blizzard is Blizzard. Nobody's shocked anymore when they pull something scummy. At the end of the day, Classic Plus could still turn out to be a masterpiece and blow us all away. And honestly, suing Turtle WoW would make sense from a business angle even if Blizzard wasn't the soulless greed machine we know them to be. What actually blows my mind are the reactions I've seen online. People being weirdly hyped about this, celebrating like it's some kind of win. What exactly are you happy about here? Why are you cheering for a server shutdown, possible server shutdown, where thousands of players are having 10 times more fun than on Blizzard's own servers? Do you seriously imagine this somehow makes Classic Plus better? It doesn't. You're out here defending a huge company that somehow hasn't managed to put out anything universally great in almost a decade. I've talked about this before, but Blizzard might be the luckiest gaming company alive. The last time they released something everyone actually agreed was good was Legion in 2016. Since then, Diablo Immortal in 2022, trash. Overwatch 2, trash. Warcraft Rumble, who the fuck even remembers that? Diablo 4, mediocre at best. Warcraft 3 Reforged, insanely bad. Dragonflight and The War Within aren't terrible, but calling them good like it's some universal truth is delusional. During the sexual harassment lawsuit, during the dumpster fire that was BFA into Shadowlands, the only reason Blizzard didn't fall into irrelevance was because Classic WoW dropped and literally doubled their subs. And remember, Classic only happened because fans made a petition that finally forced Blizzard to do it. Without that, it probably wouldn't have happened for years, if ever. Then when Classic started going downhill with TBC and Wrath, where boosts, tokens, microtransactions were added to the game when they swore they'd never add those, and retail was being stuck in Shadowlands, they somehow got saved again without doing anything. Because the hardcore scene blew up, dragged a ton of people back into their game, and gave World of Warcraft a massive online presence. Soda Poppin with the OnlyFans Guild did more for World of Warcraft in that moment than Blizzard managed in 5 years. But now Season of Discovery is dead, mostly seen as a fail. Midnight had the worst expansion reveal ever, and there's no lucky break coming this time, at least not for a while. No hardcore boom, no big petition, nothing. Just Blizzard sitting there releasing their mediocre games, hoping the next miracle falls into their lap. No wonder they're probably shitting themselves right now. And this is the company you neckbeards are defending. Being happy when they sue actually competent and passionate developers who, with maybe 10% or even less of the budget and manpower of Blizzard, manage to put out 10 times more interesting content than Blizzard ever does. Meanwhile, you're sitting there, happily eating up the most boring, most uninspired content a billion-dollar company can shovel out. A company that refuses to learn from its endless mistakes. And somehow you clap for them while cheering against people making genuinely impressive stuff. You're literally the reason we get good content so rarely, because you're the type who will kiss Blizzard's ass no matter what, even now when it's obvious to everyone with eyes that the company is coasting on mediocrity. And instead of saying something like, hey, Blizzard, maybe hire these Turtle WoW devs, they clearly understand vanilla better than your actual team. Or, hey, maybe we should try to preserve all the amazing work they have done, since it's miles ahead of anything we've gotten in years. What do you do instead of that? You double down. You bend over backwards for a company that has shown again and again it does not give a single shit about you as a fan. So congrats, instead of standing up for players, standing up for yourself, standing up for yourself as a customer, you're celebrating something that is only bad for you as a player, no matter how you spin it, because yes, as a player, as a fan of anything Classic Plus, whether that's Turtle WoW, Ascension, Project Epoch, whatever, or even Blizzard's official release, there is absolutely no reason to be happy about this. None. Developers competing to impress you, to earn your attention, to innovate in their own ways and make you choose their version of the game. That's the best possible scenario for you as a consumer. The opposite is Blizzard wiping out the competition because they're the least capable and least caring developer in the race, but they happen to have the legal hammer, and that gives them power. That's the worst thing that could happen for you as a consumer. Even if Blizzard's Classic Plus ends up being 10 times better than Turtle WoW, on every front, Turtle existing in the background would have been good for you, because that keeps Blizzard on their toes. It gives you options. it forces them to not sink below a certain standard, knowing that people could always migrate to a better free alternative if and when that happens. That's why competition works, that's why nostalgia mattered, that's why every time Blizzard nukes one of these servers, you lose. You lose leverage, you lose alternatives, you lose any real chance of Blizzard being held accountable. So yes, keep simping for the company that has spent years proving it doesn't care about you. Keep celebrating while they are tearing down people actually making cool shit. The World of Warcraft community has some really dumb people in it. Turtle WoW is getting attacked because it's actually big and growing fast. And the only reason it is big and growing fast is because it's good. Meanwhile, Blizzard's side of Classic isn't growing. Season of Discovery is dead and forgotten because it was stale and bad. Classic is amazing, and I said it before, it is the best MMO to be made to this day in my opinion. But at some point, even that is getting stale. So explain to me how the hell are you happy that the good options gets nuked, so the guys who keep proving that they cannot do a good job are left with zero competition? Or do you really imagine that this is a good thing for the community? Like, if Blizzard wins, are Turtle WoW players just gonna roll back into Classic Plus and be happy about it? Sure, some will come back even if they're salty about it. Some will come back and not even care about it. But a lot will not touch it at all. And realistically, not that many are gonna resub to Blizzard just because Turtle's gone. And even if a few do, is it really worth it for a few thousand players? Moves like this only drag Blizzard's reputation further through the mud, and plenty of people will just skip Classic Plus on principle. Maybe Blizzard thinks it's worth it, but I can't see this being any kind of big win, not when you stack it against all the other downsides as well. At the end of the day, Blizzard doesn't care about you. They haven't for years, and they never will. The devs behind servers like Turtle actually do, even if their product is far from perfect. So if you're out there celebrating Blizzard killing that off, or at least trying to, you're not just being a fanboy, you are cheering against your own best interests as a player. The thing is, Blizzard could wipe out 90% of private servers tomorrow without a single lawsuit. How? By releasing a genuinely good product. Almost every private server is just some flavor of vanilla, because that's what people actually want. Vanilla's spirit, vanilla's quality intact, but expanded upon. Blizzard hasn't delivered that. And as much as they don't want to say that they tried, they did. They did try. And failed miserably. If Classic Plus will have the quality of old school Blizzard, like 1995 to 2008 Blizzard, Turtle would have shrunk on its own. Same for Project Epoch, Ascension, Bronzebeard. Most private servers would have been dead or barely hanging on, because players would have played on the Blizzard servers. The other servers would be like dormant viruses, still around, but irrelevant. Instead though, Blizzard takes the evil and greedy route, lawyers over quality. And for you, this is nothing but a loss. Anyway, that's the video. I don't know if I'll drop the full Turtle WoW breakdown anytime soon, but we'll see. I will for sure make more content about World of Warcraft though. Not because I like Blizzard, but because I am passionate about the game. Especially the version that was made by the original team that cared, was passionate and capable. Just like the Turtle WoW team is today. If you think this was a good video, hit like, drop a comment and subscribe. It genuinely helps a small channel like mine way more than you imagine. Thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.